Doctor Who's timeless child twist creates a major villain problem for all future seasons. Doctor Who Season 12's endings creates a TARDIS plot hole. Well, it's nice to know not everybody's drinking the Kool-Aid of this bullshit. Hello, everyone. I am Mecha Random 42. The one, the only, the original, your favorite YouTube harpy. We're gonna laugh at some Doctor Who today. Doctor Who's villains problem. Okay, so spoilers if you haven't seen the total BS finale of Doctor Who and the Diversity Doctors that are a giant game of Wokemon. Making the entire series completely irrelevant. Well, then definitely watch that or don't, or just watch my review. I'll link it up here. It's terrible. It is absolute BS. You got Dr. Scrunchface there. Ugh. They retconned everything, and well, they'll tell you in this article. Doctor Who's timeless child reveal means future villains won't be quite so threatening. The season 12 finale of Doctor Who changed the entire standing of the franchise with a series of huge revelations, aka retcons. They're not revelations. Essentially, the Doctor fell from another universe into our own and was adopted by a scientist from the planet Gallifrey. The Doctor showed a natural ability to regenerate upon death, and the Time Lords coveted this power for themselves, finally managing to splice it into their own genetic makeup. That's exactly what they did. I'm not even kidding. It would not be... So who's the fourth Doctor now? Since the Doctor's been... Oh, well, we'll get into that in a second. I'm ranting before I get there because... Sometimes you need to take the edge off of the BS from these articles and from these shows. I mean, these shows are supposed to be entertaining. And when I'm getting more entertainment making fun of them than watching the show themselves, that's a big problem. The timeless child reveal means the future villains won't be so threatening. The regeneration gimmick in Doctor Who is a genius one that has allowed the series to survive for over 50 years, replacing the lead actor time and time again to reach brand new generations of fans. However, it does come with a major drawback. The threat of the Doctor being killed is greatly diminished. Usually in adventure, fantasy, or science fiction, the stakes are high because the lead character is often at risk of imminent death, whether because of a perilous journey or a dastardly villain. Being able to regenerate has meant Doctor Who's leading man or lady rarely seems in serious danger. But this has historically been remedied by establishing a 12 regeneration limit. Consequently, the Doctor could die should all their forms be spent. Here's the thing, though. That's the one thing that they can always go in and change. And you still have the plot armor. You're still the lead of the show. So you're just losing the actor temporarily. And this is something that's gone on for so long. I know I sound like I'm defending it. I'm really, really not. It's still BS just to make it go on indefinitely. And it does seem like they're defending it here just a bit. And from a business standpoint, that does seem like the smart thing to do. However, just grant more regenerations. Do something special. Grant, do some life-saving act when Jodie leaves, because she'll leave eventually. She's not going to be here forever. Give some life-saving act to somebody who can grant her another one or something like that. You can always come up with loopholes. This is science fiction. You can do a lot of things that don't break the show, that add a couple here and there if you need to. Don't take away, because like I was getting into earlier, who's the fourth Doctor now? Is it Tom Baker? I don't know. I really wish I would have grabbed the DVDs. I just can't pick them up right now because because I want to go back and cherish and treasure the Doctors that we already have. But this stuff just really makes it, okay, so who is the fourth Doctor? Who's the third Doctor now? When they just retcon the entire thing. The timeless child has changed all of that. Since the Doctor isn't from Gallifrey, she cannot be subject to the 12 regeneration ceiling that the Time Lords themselves imposed. Given what is now known, the Doctor may have an infinite amount of regenerations, and the many previous lives glimpsed so far certainly indicate as much. Moving forward, the audience will be fully aware that not only can the Doctor regenerate, but she could do it to ad nauseum until the enemy gives up and goes home. Previously, within the limit in place, any threat to the Doctor at least carried some weight, similar to losing a life in a video game. At some point, it's goodbye for good. But now, any villain or emergency that threatens the Doctor is laughable, since the hero can likely come back from any form and all injuries. Pretty much, gee, where else do we see this? Pretty much exactly the same thing happened with little Mary Ray Palpatine. You can't stop me, I'm a Jedi from Jakku. Just no matter what, she's just so overpowered, even death can't stop her. And that is not a good thing. That's not a good message. You want to have something... You want to have something to care about in the show. If you know she's just going to keep starting over and over again, just infinite lives cheat code, where's the fun in that? Where's the... And you could create new, interesting ways if these writers were any good, but they're not. But they're really, really not. Yeah, there's one of our diversity doctors. This would be a major pitfall for future seasons of Doctor Who, but there are a few potential workarounds. Firstly, the Time Lords could have artificially imposed their own limit onto the Doctor, although this would need some explanation and clarification sooner rather than later. David Tennant's Doctor once tried to make regeneration out to be akin to death, with each outgoing version of the Doctor feeling like they're dying rather than renewing. But this is a mere technicality, and it isn't necessarily a view shared by the audience. Finally, the Doctor has stated previously that if the regeneration process is halted for whatever reason, a Time Lord can still die midway through. This isn't something Doctor Who has followed up much on, so it's authentically could be questioned, especially now that the Doctor has been outed as a non-Time Lord. Again, so we know a little bit too much now. We know too much. You didn't need the backstory. You had a good starting point. You didn't need to go and retcon the whole starting point. And that's one of the problems. Timeless Child resolved 2 major plot holes. Well, don't defend it. Don't defend it. It has no sense letting Roy die all the time when the Doctor can't be killed. This is just another example of how game-changing the Timeless Child is. Although the storyline has the potential to open brand new doors for Doctor Who, there are a lot of lingering plot points that need addressing before the show moves forward with its next season. Oh yeah. And sadly, it probably won't be canceled, but we do have some ratings numbers, and they're not good. Oh, no, they're not good. According to Evening Standard, it's the lowest since the 2005 revival. Now, there's other articles going around saying it's the lowest in 30 years. And it just depends on which country you're kind of qualifying. Is it the lowest in streamed and first run? All that good stuff. So, we're going to go with this one. The conclusion to this year's series of Doctor Who, The Timeless Children, had an official rating of 4.69 million viewers, according to the figures released by the Broadcasting Research Audience Board. So, Barb, the figure is the lowest consolidated figure for an episode of Doctor Who since the series returned in 2005, a record previously held by the 2017 story, The Eaters of Light. Out of 861 episodes of Doctor Who broadcast since 1963, only 33 have achieved a lower rating. That's not a good score. That's like being in the very, very, very bottom. And this is a season finale. This is a season finale with a cliffhanger. Remember, she's out there floating around in some space prison. She got picked up by the Jadoon because we needed to see them again. They're still not one of my favorites. To put a figure in perspective, it's still the 30th most watched program on British TV for the week, much higher than the position achieved by the majority of episodes of Doctor Who shown over the years. The episode had a 21.5% share. It's still not good, though. They could be doing double that if the show were good, because we are so in dire need of good geek culture, good geek programming. It's so few and far between. And the few shows that people are liking, they either drop all at once or we're still waiting on them, like the Orville. We need something uplifting and hopeful, something entertaining, something intelligently written. Never underestimate your audience. Your audience is always a lot smarter than they seem, even though sometimes the most vocal and the most persistent ones pop in and they're like, not too. Sometimes you get those once in a while and they usually aren't your actual audience. They're just the loud trolls is what they are. So you don't, because the silent people are the ones who are just going to go elsewhere. The people that you want to watch your stuff, they're just going to go. They're not going to leave a comment telling you why they left. They're not going to give you feedback. They're just going to turn it off and say, well, I just don't like this anymore. I'm going to find something else. They're not going to start YouTube channels. They're not going to yell and scream on the internet. They're not going to do any of that. They're just going to leave. And they are just pretty much everywhere. 4.6 million viewers. That's because the show isn't very entertaining. TV audiences across the last series averaged 5.3 million. This is the lowest since it's relaunched. Yeah, it's just not a very good thing. And then, of course, they created TARDIS plot hole. Final scene of season 12 has contained a massive plot hole regarding the allegedly impregnable TARDIS defenses. Yeah, so the spoiler is the Jadoon just pop onto the TARDIS, I guess, when she's not looking. And that's just one more thing that I'm sure they'll explain away in, oh no, we're just going to retcon stuff. They have all kinds of little inconsistencies here and there pop up. Like, I always say, well, why didn't they auto-translate this? Isn't this TARDIS supposed to auto-translate this thing? I'm done ranting about this one for tonight. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. I don't think this whole, this miracle space baby child thing that was floating out there, I don't think that's going to help anything. I think that's going to create a lot of plot holes, and it's going to lose a lot of viewers. And I know a lot of you guys are just saying, no, we're not coming back for next season of Doctor Who. Tell me what you guys think. I am MechaRandom42, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye!